All right, let's talk about the first round pick that the Titans got from the A.J. Brown trade, the guy they were hoping to be an A.J. Brown replacement, Treylon Burks, which, first we should just say right off the bat, expecting him to be A.J. Brown is just so unfair because, A.J. Brown's really good, and I think expecting any, young player to come in and be A.J. Brown right away, it just isn't fair. But that being said, I wasn't as high on Treylon Burks just as a prospect, but I was pretty impressed with his first year. I thought he did some nice things. I think has at least lived up to the draft capital up until this point. Again, you hope that his career can continue to grow and he can continue to develop. But let's talk about the flashes we saw as a rookie and maybe how he could take that next level in year two. So we're starting off with this play. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup, and there is actually a safety deep on this play, but what's worth noting is that this is going to be a robber concept, so there's technically two safeties deep as of right now before the play has started, but one's going to kind of cover the middle of the field, and it's the guy who's lined up closer to the top of the screen that's going to eventually cover the middle of the field, meaning the player who's closer towards the bottom of the screen, he's the one staying deep. So for Burks' route, that's eventually going to get deep towards the top half of the screen. It will turn into a pure one-on-one matchup. And I think what they like about Burks, and part of why he did get some A.J. Brown comparisons, is going to be what he's going to show off here. Watch how right when this play begins, you're going to see that he is able to have the speed enough to get past the corner who he's going up against. And again, maybe he thought he had safety help deep, and maybe this is why he's giving up a little bit of space deep down the field, and now he's in trouble. Okay, perhaps. But at the end of the day, Burks, the reason why some people really fell in love with him coming out of the draft was the fact that he's a big receiver who can also move very well. As you see, this throw is down the field, and Burks is able to find a way to make the grab on that one. So these are the kind of things that you're hoping he can do consistently, right? We saw him do it in flashes his first year. And again, he was banged up. It's hard for a receiver if you don't kind of get to play game in and game out to fully get to, integrate into the offense. We saw how long, just for an example, like Christian Watson, we saw how long it took him to integrate into the Packers offense. And then once he did, it looked really good. It does take some time, but I thought that this was a really good play and hopefully an example of what he can do consistently for Tennessee. But this play's another example, probably a better example, really, because it's really just going to be him one-on-one against Jair Alexander. So, okay, big-time matchup right here. And this is going to be a hard play action by Tennessee. I mean, you see just the way the concept is. It appears as though it's going to be a running play. The only receiver on this play is Treylon Burks, who's on the outside, which is why he's getting the tough matchup of going up against Jair Alexander. And as you see right here, one thing I do have to say is that, Alexander, I think, got fooled by this play. You look at him still even now, I think, is looking for a potential run and has just now realized that is not the case. But still, hey, he's a great corner. He can come back from this, and he doesn't have to come back that much as he's still a couple of yards past Treylon Burks. And for a big receiver, you don't expect him to be able to move very well, but he can. Look, he is able to get by Jair Alexander, and it's a really good throw as well, and Burks is able to make the catch, and he's not easy to bring down either, because of that size. So, listen, I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill speed, but for his size, it's very impressive what he's able to do, and that's what some people loved about him coming out of college, and maybe what I underestimated a bit coming out of college, because it's working really well at the NFL level right now. Now, let's go over to stuff like this, because this is a big part of what the Tennessee Titans try to do. And listen, who knows exactly how they're going to continue to try to have things go. They still have Derrick Henry. I'm assuming he's still going to be a big part of their offense, which means that play actions are going to be a big part of their offense, right? That's a lot of what you do with a running back is use them to set up other things. So what's going to happen on this play is it is going to be a play action, and you're going to have Treylon Burks eventually be running a deep route that's going to eventually get over the middle. That's kind of the goal here. And look at how right when this play begins, I think that Burks is actually going to run this route pretty well. You see him kind of fake as though he's going towards the top of the screen, and so that way when he cuts down towards the bottom of the screen, he could gain some separation. So that's what we're going to want to look at here, is how much separation does Burks in fact create, and how well does he cut here? That's really the question on this play. And the answer is going to be pretty well. I mean, he does it well enough to get some separation, and that throw was a bit off. Maybe he still could have caught it, but if it was a perfect throw, that is a catch and a big completion there. So, I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say that he still is, again, accomplishing what he's supposed to accomplish and playing his role in the offense, which is what they brought him in to do. And, like, this play's another example. Like, hey, making these splash plays. I have to say, I felt like going in, again, sorry to keep bringing up my own evaluation of him, but that's kind of how I view this stuff is, how does he compare to what I thought he would be, after year one? And my thought was, I felt pretty confident he would be able to do the role player stuff that we saw in the last play. I felt pretty confident he could do that. Where I've been very pleasantly surprised with is his big play ability, and that's something that, I think could really be what makes him a really good player. Where this play, again, there is a safety deep here. It's a cover 3 zone that the Cincinnati Bengals are in, but just spoiler alert, the safety is going to actually step in on this play, meaning Burks is going to be in a one-on-one matchup down the field. I mean, look at how right when this play begins, you're going to see that that's basically exactly what happens. And that's the way the concept works, is if the safety steps in, you throw the ball deep. Tannehill sees this, so he's throwing the ball deep. And again, is it fair to totally blame the corner for this? Maybe he thought that the safety would stay deep, and that's why he's allowing himself to get beat deep a little bit. Totally reasonable to say. But for Burks, you got to take advantage of that, and that's what he's doing. However, when this throw is made, I'm going to pause it before it gets there, you see that they're having to adjust back to the ball. The ball was not maybe thrown exactly where you'd want it to be, and again, it's hard. You look at how far down the field it's getting thrown, but still, Burks is going to now have to come back to the ball and make a play. However, that's exactly what he's going to be able to do. That's a great catch. And these types of plays, I think, are what gets you excited as a Titans fan. Listen, the role player stuff, the running his route stuff, you have to be able to do that to make it in the NFL. You just do. But I think we pretty much know he's going to be that guy. He's going to be able to do that stuff. But these extra plays, this is where you start to get excited. And again, just little things like this where, it's going to be a zone coverage play. And so for Burks, he's just going to run a quick route, get past the sticks, try to get a first down. That's all he's trying to do here. Watch how when this play begins, you see that that's exactly what happened. Cut well, gave himself a little bit of a window to be able to make the throw, for the quarterback to be able to make the throw. The corner was definitely unsure of where Burks was running, which means it was, well-ran route. You didn't give anything away too early on to allow the corner to know what you're doing and make a play earlier. But then watch how when he makes the catch, he also doesn't go down, somehow does not step out of bounds, and is able to pick up even more yards, again, because of that physicality. And this is something that's always, when you draft a receiver, even a receiver you really like, there's still always that question of, well, how well will their yards after the catch stuff be at the NFL level? Some guys are really good at it at college. Like I think about, N'Keal Harry had some really great plays of yards after the catch in college, but then at the NFL level, it wasn't able to work out. And you obviously have some guys like a Jamar Chase where it's just as good at the NFL level than it was in college. Burks, that was definitely something he did well in college, and it's something he's doing well at the NFL level, which to me is another, maybe slight concern I had when he was drafted that is no longer a concern because I've seen him do it at the NFL level. So, yeah. As a whole, I was very impressed with Treylon Burks. I wasn't he wasn't my guy coming out of the draft, but listen, there's a long list of guys that I've been wrong about evaluating, and he is, maybe added to the list, although I still like them. But anyways, those are kind of my thoughts on Burks. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.